The music played. Michael didn't sing. 110,000 people held their breath. November 13th, 1993, 9:34 p.m. Estadio Azteca, Mexico City. Michael Jackson was 38 minutes into the Dangerous World Tour, performing She's Out of My Life, the song where he always cried real tears. Tonight, he stopped singing mid-verse. The backing track continued, but Michael's voice had gone silent. The crowd murmured. Something was wrong. Michael scanned the front row, squinting past the stage lights. Row 1, Section A, Seat 14. A woman in a white medical mask and oversized dark sunglasses. She wasn't dancing, wasn't screaming, wasn't holding up a sign. Just standing perfectly still, watching him. Her hands were clasped in front of her, the exact way she used to stand in the surgical suite. Michael knew those hands. He knew that posture. Dr. Karen Morley, the surgeon who saved his face 9 years ago. The woman who said no. Michael walked to the edge of the stage. Security tensed. This wasn't choreographed. He extended his hand directly to the woman in the white mask. Would you come up here? His voice cracked. Not performance. Genuine emotion. Backstage, chaos erupted. Did he just invite someone on stage? The head of security barked into his radio. Who authorized this? That's not in the show, the stage manager said. Do we intervene? Michael's manager watched from side stage. Who is that woman? No one knew whether to stop this or let it happen. Karen's heart was pounding as security escorted her up the stairs. She hadn't expected this. She'd come to watch from a distance, to say goodbye silently. Now she was walking onto Michael Jackson's stage in front of 110,000 people. The mask hit her face, but not her shaking hands. Michael took both her hands. The music was still playing, instrumental now. Hi, Karen, he said quietly, microphone away from his mouth. She nodded, couldn't speak. I saw you in the crowd. I knew it was you. If you are enjoying this story, please subscribe to support the channel. 9 years earlier, January 27th, 1984, Brotman Medical Center, Los Angeles. Michael Jackson was 25 years old, his scalp severely burned from a Pepsi commercial pyrotechnics accident. Dr. Karen Morley was 28, one of the best reconstructive surgeons in California. First consultation. Michael wouldn't look at her, wouldn't remove his bandages. Mr. Jackson, I need to see the burns to help you, Karen said. What if it's too bad? What if you can't fix it? Michael's voice was terrified. Then we'll figure out what we can do. But I can't help you if you won't let me see. For 6 months, weekly appointments, surgical procedures, recovery sessions. Michael always came alone. No entourage, no Joe Jackson, no handlers. In Karen's office, he wasn't Michael Jackson, the superstar. He was just Michael, a 25-year-old man scared his career might be over. They talked during recovery sessions. Her about medical school, him about feeling trapped by fame. She was the first woman who'd seen him literally without his mask, bandaged, vulnerable, healing. And she treated him like a patient, not a celebrity. 3 months into treatment, Michael, post-procedure, still groggy. Why did you become a surgeon? Because I wanted to fix broken things, Karen said. Can you fix broken people? I'm trying. Something changed in that moment. 6 months later, final appointment. Michael's scalp had healed. He should never have to see her again. Instead, as she removed the final bandages, Michael said, Karen, could you ever see yourself marrying someone like me? Long silence. Michael, you don't want to marry me. Yes, I do. No, she said gently. You want to marry the idea of someone who saw you at your most vulnerable and didn't run away. That's not the same thing. Pause. I'm your doctor. You're my patient. What you're feeling is gratitude and trust in a safe space. But that's not love. That's trauma bonding. Medical terminology for what he thought was love. Michael, you're going to find someone. Someone who loves you for exactly who you are. You do, he said. I do. But I love you like a doctor loves a patient who survived, not like a woman loves a man. He left her office that day and never came back. Now, 9 years later, she was standing on a stage. Michael addressed the 110,000 people. Ladies and gentlemen, someone very special just joined me. Someone who changed my life 9 years ago. The crowd cheered, assuming this was a planned romantic surprise. Would you mind if we danced? Just for a moment? Karen nodded. Michael signaled the band. They started a slow instrumental version of Human Nature. Michael took Karen's hand, placed his other hand on her waist. They swayed slowly. The crowd watched, charmed. But up close, something else was happening. Why are you here, Karen? After 9 years, Michael whispered, I came to say goodbye. I'm leaving the country. Doctors Without Borders. 6-year assignment in Somalia. Michael stopped moving for a split second. 6 years. Maybe longer. I don't know if I'm coming back. Why didn't you call? Why show up like this? Because I knew if I called, you'd try to stop me. And I couldn't let you do that. Michael's mind raced. She's leaving for 6 years. A war zone. She might not come back. And he's just finding out now, on stage, in front of 110,000 people. He can't fall apart. He can only dance and pretend this is beautiful. Karen had been planning this for 8 months. Delayed telling Michael because she knew he'd react badly. Thought watching from the crowd would be enough. Didn't expect him to recognize her through the mask. Take off the mask, Michael whispered. Please, let me see you. Michael, there are 110,000 people here. Cameras everywhere. I don't care. If you're leaving for 6 years, I want to see your face. Karen hesitated, then slowly removed the mask and sunglasses. The crowd gasped. She was beautiful. But that wasn't why they reacted. She was crying. This wasn't a fan living her dream. This was something else entirely. Backstage, one older crew member who'd been there in 1984 said, Wait, that's his doctor, the one who fixes burns. The truth started spreading. This wasn't a romantic surprise. This was Michael seeing someone who disappeared from his life 9 years ago. Someone he proposed to. Someone who said no. The instrumental was ending. Karen, why Somalia? Why now? Because I spent 9 years in Beverly Hills fixing rich people's faces, making them prettier. And I realized I'd forgotten why I became a surgeon. Pause. You asked me once if I could fix broken people. I couldn't fix you, Michael. Not the parts that were actually broken. So I'm going somewhere I can actually help. You did fix me. Karen shook her head. I fixed your scalp. But you're still hiding, Michael. Still performing. Still looking for someone to make you feel the way you felt in my office. Safe, seen, real. Because you're the only one who ever did that. Exactly. And that's the problem. You can't build a life on 6 months in a doctor's office 9 years ago. The song ended. They stopped dancing. 110,000 people were watching. I have to go, Michael. Stay. Please. Just stay. You know I can't. Michael, still holding her hands, spoke into the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Karen Morley. 9 years ago, she saved my life. The crowd cheered. And tonight, she's telling me goodbye. The crowd went quiet, confused. She's leaving to be a doctor in Somalia for 6 years, maybe longer. Murmurs through the stadium. Michael turned to Karen, microphone still on. Karen, before you go, I need to ask you something. In front of all these people. So you can't explain it away as gratitude or trauma or professional boundaries. Karen looked terrified. Do you love me? Did you ever love me? Not as a doctor, as a person. 110,000 people held their breath. Karen took the microphone from Michael's hand. Yes, she said simply. The crowd erupted. I loved you then. I love you now. Louder cheers. But Michael, her voice broke. Love isn't enough. Not for the life you live. Not for the person you need to become. Silence. Karen, still holding the microphone, addressed 110,000 people. Michael asked me to marry him in 1984. I said no. The crowd gasped. I told him he didn't love me. He loved the idea of safety, of being seen, of finding someone who knew his vulnerabilities. Pause. I was right, but I was also wrong. She turned to face Michael directly. I was right that you needed to find real love, real connection, not just someone who saw you at your lowest and accepted you, tears streaming. But I was wrong about something else. I told myself I said no because I was protecting you, because I couldn't enter your impossible world. She took a shaky breath. The truth is, I said no because I was scared. Scared of loving someone whose life I couldn't control, couldn't fix, couldn't heal. Michael was crying now, too. I'm a surgeon, Michael. I fix things. That's what I do. But I couldn't fix your loneliness. Couldn't fix your pain. Couldn't make your life normal. Pause. So I walked away, and I told myself it was for you. But it was for me, because I was terrified of loving someone I couldn't save. The stadium was completely silent. Michael took the microphone back. For 9 years, I compared every woman I've met to you. Karen's hand covered her mouth. Every relationship I've tried to have, I've asked myself, do they see me the way Karen did? Do they accept me the way she did? He was crying but kept talking. And no one ever did, because you were right. I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for that 6 months in your office where I felt safe. Pause. But here's what I realized tonight, watching you walk up these stairs, seeing your face after 9 years. He stepped closer. I don't want to feel safe anymore. Safe is lonely. Safe is hiding. Safe is spending my whole life on stages in front of 110,000 people and never letting anyone actually know me. Karen was sobbing. You're going to Somalia for 6 years, maybe longer. And I can't stop you. Because you're right, love isn't enough of the life I live. Pause. But Karen, thank you for saying no, for protecting me from myself, for leaving so I'd have to stop searching for that safe space and start living in the real world. He handed the microphone back to her. Karen spoke, voice shaking. Michael, if I stayed, if I said yes to what you asked me 9 years ago, would you leave all this? She gestured to the stage, the 110,000 people, the impossible life. Would you walk away from being Michael Jackson and just be Michael? The question hung in the air. Michael looked at her, at the crowd, back at her. Long silence. Finally, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Karen nodded, crying harder. That's why I have to go. Because neither of us knows how to be just people. We only know how to be the surgeon and the patient, the safe space and the person hiding in it. She stepped back. I love you, Michael. I will probably love you for the rest of my life. But we can't build something real on the memory of when we were both broken. She took off the backstage pass security gave her, handed it to Michael. Goodbye, Michael. I hope you find what you're looking for. She started to walk away. Karen, wait. She stopped, turned. Will you write me? From Somalia? Not about us. Just so I know you're alive. Karen smiled through tears. I'll write you. I promise. She walked off stage. Michael stood alone, 110,000 people watching him fall apart. Michael returned to the microphone. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't supposed to happen like that. The crowd didn't know whether to cheer or cry. Sometimes you see someone and you think maybe, possibly, this time it could be different. And then you realize it can't. Not because you don't love them, but because love isn't always enough. He wiped his eyes. I'm going to finish this show. Because that's what I do. I perform. Even when my heart's breaking. Especially then. The band started the next song. Michael performed flawlessly. Inside, he's devastated. 3 months later, February 1994, Michael received a letter from Somalia. Karen's handwriting. She wrote, I think about that night on stage. I think about what I said. I don't regret it, but I regret hurting you. You asked if I loved you. I do, but I also know we both needed to stop hiding the memory of who we were when we were both broken. Maybe someday we'll both be whole enough to try again. Until then, be brave, Michael. Be real. Stop performing love and start living it. 6 months later, Michael married Lisa Marie Presley. The marriage lasted less than 2 years. Friends said he was trying to recreate something, that safe feeling of being truly seen. 2 years later, he married Debbie Rowe. They had 2 children. The marriage was transactional, practical. Karen's words echoed, "Love isn't enough for the life you live." Karen returned from Somalia. Been gone 9 years, not 6. She saw Michael's interview on TV, talking about loneliness. She almost called him. She didn't. Some goodbyes are meant to stay goodbye. November 13th, 1993. 11:47 p.m. Estadio Azteca, Mexico City. The concert was over. 110,000 people filed out. They'd tell their friends about the mysterious woman in the white mask. They'd say Michael Jackson brought his ex-girlfriend on stage, that she rejected him in front of everyone. But they'd get it wrong. It wasn't rejection. It was two people finally admitting the truth. Love isn't always enough, and safety isn't the same as happiness. Michael sat alone in his dressing room, in his hand. The backstage pass Karen gave back. He'd keep it, for years, as a reminder, not of what he lost, but of what he learned. You can't live your whole life searching for the person who made you feel safe once. Eventually, you have to be brave enough to feel unsafe. A mysterious woman joined Michael Jackson on stage. Her identity shocked everyone. But the real shock wasn't who she was. It was what she taught 110,000 people that night. Sometimes the person you love most is the person you can't keep. And sometimes, letting them go is the most loving thing you can do. If you like this story, please subscribe to support this channel.